All right. So remember, all things that are measured improve, right? And so in golf, greens in regulation is one of the most important things that you focus on, right? Because look at this. Look how greens in regulation affects score. Now, I think this is a little bit generous. I mean, to me, if I'm hitting 12 greens, I'm thinking like I'm lucky if I shoot a 77 or 76. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm thinking to shoot 69 to 73, I want to hit 16 to 18 greens in regulation personally. That's what I'm thinking, right? But they say it's possible because think about it. There's 6 times that when you miss the green, 6 times you had to get up and down, right? So of those six, are you going to get up and down all 6 times? Or are you getting up and down 4 out of 6 times? What's the percentages? Is it only half the time you're going to get up and down, right? Exactly. So then that's why you can't risk missing a green. And so then it changes things like, oh, the pin's in the front left. Which club should I choose? Well, you should choose a club that's going to get you to the middle of the green, right? I try to miss it on the middle of the green side of the hole. So like that's my target. Like I'm like, oh, the pin's on the right. Okay, I want to be left center. Okay, pin's on the front left. I want to be to the right center. Pins in the back left. I want to be short of that and in the center on the right of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to work it from the center of the green because I don't want to risk missing a green, short siding myself, and then putting pressure on my short game. You see what I'm saying? And so you want to track this. I just put a little check mark on my scorecard that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That I hit the green. If I didn't hit the green, I don't put a check. What becomes incredibly obvious about greens in regulation is that if you don't get it in the fairway, it becomes a hell of a lot harder to hit the green, right? So it's kind of funny because when you start thinking like, oh, I want to hit the greens. Right? Last year I had 4 rounds that I hit all 18 greens in regulation. It was easy golf, let me tell you. I broke par each time, just good putting, decent putting. I would say not good putting. To me, average putting.
Serviceable.
Yeah, right. It wasn't impressive at all. So I'm working on my putting a lot. But the point of this is if you can get the greens in regulation up, well then it's going to be way easier to score, right? And then when you start thinking about greens in regulation, like I'll never forget, like one of the rounds I knew I had hit 17 greens in regulation, and I was in the 18th hole, right, in the fairway, and I had a wedge, and the pin is in the front, right, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I'm in between clubs. I could maybe get my sand wedge there, but I'm going to swing hard at it. It's going to have a lot of spin, and it's probably not going to stay on the green. It might, but it might not. You know what I'm saying? So then instead, I took my gap wedge, swung easier, took the spin off of it, got it past the pin, and hit the center of the green. Right. So when you start changing your thinking about greens regulation, you start thinking differently about what club you're selecting because you don't want to risk missing that green. So you pick the club that gets you onto the green. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's
So I want you to start focusing
that is
on your
important.
greens in regulation and report back. Text me. Say, hey, look, today you love this, Ryan. I hit 16 of 18 greens in regulation. Good. Text me that. I want to hear about it.